Have your parents ever told you a scary story just to make you behave? You know, the kind of tale about a monster that comes for naughty children who stay out too late. In Leicestershire, England, that monster has a name, and it's one that has been whispered in fear for centuries. Black Annies. This isn't just some modern creepypasta. This is one of England's oldest and most terrifying legends. A boogeyman figure that has haunted the local imagination for longer than anyone can remember. So, tonight, let us pull back the branches of the ancient woods and peer into the darkness to uncover the chilling story of the monstrous hag, known as Black Annies. The descriptions of Black Annies paint a picture straight out of a nightmare. She wasn't just an old woman. She was a monstrous creature of folklore. Imagine a hag with a face the color of a deep bruise, a terrifying blue-black, twisted with a permanent snarl. Her eyes were said to glow with a malevolent light, and her most fearsome features were her hands. They weren't hands at all, but grotesque claws made of iron, long, sharp, and perfect for snatching her prey. Her teeth were described as tusks, long and sharp like a wild boar's, which she used to tear into her victims. She was a vision of pure primal terror, a being that seemed to be a part of the wild, untamed landscape itself. So, where would you find such a creature? Not in a cozy cottage, that's for sure. The legends say Black Annies made her home in the raw, dark places of the world. Her most famous lair was a cave she supposedly dug out of a sandstone cliff with her own iron claws. This cave, known as Black Annies's Bower, was located in the Dane Hills, an area just outside the old city of Leicester. Locals would point to a specific spot, a dark opening in the rock, and warn their children never to go near it. At the entrance to her bower, a great, gnarled oak tree was said to stand, its branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. It was here, perched in the ancient tree, that she would wait, silent and patient, for anyone unfortunate enough to wander into her territory. And who were her victims? The answer is what makes this legend so particularly cruel and effective as a cautionary tale. Black Annies had a taste for human flesh, but she especially preyed on children and lambs. Any child who disobeyed their parents, who wandered too far from home at twilight, or who made too much noise playing in the fields was at risk. The stories told how she would leap down from her oak tree with terrifying speed, snatch the unsuspecting child with her iron claws, and drag them back to her dark, damp cave. The screams of her victims, it was said, would be swallowed by the desolate hills, a final, unheard plea. This detail was, of course, a powerful tool for parents. The threat of Black Annies was enough to send any child scurrying home before the sun went down. But the horror doesn't end with her just catching her victims. What she did with them is the stuff of true folk horror. According to the most gruesome versions of the legend, after devouring their flesh, Black Annies would tan their skins. And she didn't just discard them. She would stitch them together and wear them as a grotesque skirt, a grisly trophy of her kills. Imagine this blue-faced monster, draped in the preserved skins of children, prowling the countryside. It's a powerful and deeply disturbing image, one that would be seared into the mind of anyone who heard it. This element of the story adds a layer of ritualistic horror to her character, making her more than just a hungry beast, but a figure of calculated cruelty. As you can imagine, the story of Black Annis became a cornerstone of local parenting. It was the ultimate behave or else story. For generations, mothers and fathers in Leicestershire would warn their children, "Be good and get inside before dark, or Black Annis will get you." The legend was so potent that the mere mention of her name was enough to stop bad behavior in its tracks. It was a form of social control, rooted in fear, designed to keep children safe from the very real dangers of getting lost or wandering off in a time before streetlights and constant supervision. The tale served a practical purpose, but in doing so, it cemented Black Annis as a terrifying and enduring figure in the local psyche. The fear was real, passed down from one generation to the next. But where did such a horrifying figure come from? Is she just a scary story? Or is there something more to her origin? Many folklorists and historians believe that Black Annis is not just a simple boogeyman, but a corrupted, half-remembered version of a much older figure. Some theories connect her to ancient Celtic or even pre-Christian deities. Her name, Annis, could be a distortion of Anu, a prominent mother goddess in Celtic mythology, sometimes associated with the winter and the wild. In this interpretation, Black Annis could be the dark aspect of this goddess, the Cailleach or the crone figure, representing the harsh, unforgiving side of nature. The blue face is also a common feature of these ancient figures, often symbolizing death or the other world. So, it's possible that when Christianity spread across Britain, the old pagan gods and goddesses were demonized, their stories twisted and transformed into the monstrous legends we know today. The powerful goddess of winter became a child-eating hag. The influence of Black Annis didn't just stop in Leicestershire. Her characteristics, the cannibalistic nature, the association with the wild, the targeting of children, bled into the wider folklore of witches in England. As the witch trials began to take hold in Europe and later in Britain, the image of the evil, child-stealing crone became a popular stereotype. Figures like Black Annis provided a ready-made template for what a witch was supposed to be. The idea of a malevolent old woman living on the fringes of society, practicing dark magic, and causing harm to the innocent was already present in the cultural consciousness thanks to legends like this one. She is, in many ways, a proto-witch, a foundational figure upon which later witch folklore was built. Even today, the legend of Black Annis persists. While few people truly believe a blue-faced monster lives in a cave in the Dane Hills, her story is still told. The area where her bower was said to be is now a housing estate, but the name lives on in local memory. She remains one of England's most fascinating and unsettling folk legends. She represents a primal fear, the fear of the dark, the fear of the unknown that lurks just beyond the safety of our homes, and the fear of what happens when we stray from the path. She is a reminder of a time when the world felt much larger, wilder, and more dangerous, when monsters were not just in books and movies, but were believed to be hiding in the woods at the edge of town. The tale of Black Annie's is a perfect example of how folklore works. It's a mix of cautionary tale, a remnant of ancient belief systems, and a genuinely scary story. It is a powerful cultural artifact that tells us as much about the people who told the story as it does about the monster herself. It reflects their fears, their beliefs about the world, and their methods for keeping their communities safe. So, the next time you hear a strange scratching at your window on a stormy night, or see a dark shape moving at the edge of the woods, you might just find your mind wandering back to the ancient hills of Leicestershire and the chilling legend of the hag with the blue face and iron claws. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into one of England's darkest legends. It's amazing how these stories can survive for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years. What's the scariest local legend from your hometown? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark side of folklore, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the shadows. Stay safe, and maybe don't wander off alone after dark. See you next time.